After hearing Q's story, I'm okay with him staying here. Don't speak for me.
Why? Why? After hearing Q's story, I'm okay with him staying here. Maurice, if I were you, I'd tell Calvin, you know what, man? This ain't gonna work out. Or how would he say it? Bitch, this ain't gonna work. Pack up your shit and leave. You and him. Mr. Perry, why? Just why? And I know there are people like, it's just a TV. Now, look, shut the hell up. Those like, this is just a TV show. No. I've been doing this stuff for years in regards to reviewing Tyler Perry shows, dissecting it, giving my thoughts and comments. But I can say without a shadow of a doubt, this is some of the dumbest writing I've ever sat through. For the life of me, you are making these characters look so damn stupid, more and more incompetent with every episode. Don't get me wrong, like if you want to compare it, well, Jeremy, you talking about Q, I mean, he's a thief and whatnot, but what about Miranda on House of Pain? Didn't she, and I'm saying this because I fully don't remember, but didn't she like rob Calvin or somebody, or even Curtis, like some money? Basically, she was like a con artist who eventually stole Calvin's heart, leading to them eventually getting together. Even though crime is crime, just like in the Bible, sin is sin, no sin is too big or small, sin is sin. I look at it in the way of, Miranda, conned them of some money and whatnot. But at the same time, she didn't threaten them on the, with their lives by pointing a gun in their direction. With the whole thing of Calvin getting his, checkbook and whatnot stolen by Q, and then he went around writing bad checks and everything and messed up his financial status. And then Maurice decided not to send him to jail, even though Calvin didn't do anything about that. I don't know why he didn't even bother sending him to jail. He was like, oh, well, I see a lot of myself when I was younger, when I look at him. So I let him go, just gave him a chance. He just had a bad rap. And Sabrina called him out, was like, look, I think you should have, called the cops on him and whatnot. And then he goes so far as to hold him at gunpoint, make him get dressed, go down to the bank, ambush Sabrina, and threaten to kill them both. Then he gets arrested. Then, if I remember correctly, he showed up again at Maurice's place. Then he called the cops. Then he got arrested. Then he kept calling Maurice, put him down as a reference to a address he'll be living at while he gets out, after snitching and whatnot. And Maurice doesn't call the police again. He doesn't straighten this out. Like, wait, I was the victim, so why are you allowing him to use my residency as a place to stay? And then Sabrina warned him about not associating with Q because the people at the bank think he was involved. And it's just a ripple effect of how this story makes no sense. Don't get me wrong. Q, Calvin, Gary, these are a number of multiple characters across the Tyler Perry landscape, of characters who have long since overstayed their welcome in the story of a show. Have and Have Nots was full of them. Be it Wyatt, just being just an addict from day one. Justin on the Haves and the Have Nots. There are so many other examples, but there's not enough time. It is hot and I need to cut my fan back on, but I gotta cut it off when I'm recording not to have background noise. But there are just so many examples of characters who Tyler just keeps around to keep around for whatever reason. Is it because, this person's dating another star in the show, or this person needs a job / opportunity, or maybe it's because Tyler just likes working with him, and that's completely fine. But to give such asinine material makes no sense. And I think the thing that really had me rolling my eyes was giving Q a tragic backstory. Oh, I was sexually abused since I was 3. My mom's boyfriend, and she didn't believe me when I told her. You know what? After hearing that story, I'm okay with Q staying. But what the fuck, Calvin? What the hell? Look, if the bank stuff never happened, and this was only based on the whole, oh, he stole my checkbook, I would let it get a little bit more leniency. But this man held Maurice at gunpoint, then went to the bank and held Sabrina at gunpoint with other people who were smart enough to wear masks and point guns, and yet you're okay with a Some people are rightfully calling this out as petty. Like, oh yeah, maybe it's one of those things where he's just so mad at Sabrina that, hey, I'm just going to end up talking with this other guy, even though he threatened to kill you. I know Q's going to be around for a while. He's going to be in season 5. Maurice and Sabrina will end up in jail. Q will end up working at the airport with Danny. What's the saying? It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. If the destination is Q and Maurice eventually getting together, or Calvin and Q getting together, this is a journey I do not want to embark on, because I know Tyler has a purpose in the writing, but this storyline, it's awful. And I've said this since Q was introduced in season 2, I think, or was it season 3? And I said, okay, I get it. Why don't you have Maurice play like a mentor role, basically taking Q under his wing, like I believe like the drag queens and whatnot did when Maurice was thrown out in the street when he was young, when his Bible-toting mother didn't accept his sexuality, basically giving Q a chance to redeem himself, and maybe, you don't even have to take this route, maybe ending in a romantic thing. I mean, but it's so Q went from being gay for pay to, I guess, wanting to repay Maurice for letting him stay by doing sexual favors, or was his backstory of being sexually abused by a grown man when he was a toddler? Is that the kind? Look, again, I don't really know about that lifestyle, so if there's anybody who can kind of fill in the blanks for me, and I'm just as a heterosexual man, I'm trying to understand what the purpose in this story, what the backstory was, but basically it's Q saying, hey, I'm gay for pay, aka I basically walk that line if it means a score in the end, financially or whatever. But because he was unknowingly engaging in homosexual activity by being abused by a man when he was 3 for years, and when he told his mom, she didn't even believe him. So basically, engaging in that is, I guess, maybe him being well, hey, I'm not gay, but Maurice, let me show you how much I want to show that I appreciate you letting me crash at your place and whatnot. I don't know. It's just weird. This is just one of those things where I don't know how it made well, then again, Tyler is the sole writer. I was about to say, how did this make the writer's room, or, the final draft? But then again, I think it's a one and done kind of writing style with this dude. And I feel like each scene we have with these three, Calvin, Q, or whoever, the hole's just being dug deeper. And I don't think there's a way for him to come out of this that doesn't make his characters look like dumbasses. Even Sabrina, she's like, wait, how do I know Q isn't just going to pop up here again? So call the fucking cops, or at least call the superiors at the bank to make sure that Q is banned. If I went to a bank, if I went to Truist right now, because I miss BB&T, that name just rolled off the tongue better. If I went to Truist right now, and I only say Truist because that's the closest bank to where I live right now. So basically, if I went to the nearest Truist and held that place at gunpoint, I got arrested and I somehow got out through asinine means, and I walked right into that bank again, what do you think would happen? Don't you think they would place a ban on me from ever coming into that bank or even doing business with them again? But yet Q was able to just walk in and walk out, no questions asked. He did not have a mask on when he attempted to rob the place. And hell, even Maurice's he's not dumb enough to try to rob the place twice. So you're saying, and then he's like, you know what, maybe I'll stay with you until you leave to make sure. So basically, you are not 100% sure that Q won't rob the place again, because maybe him coming into the bank today was him casing out the place to see, oh, did they beef up security since the last time I tried to rob the place and whatnot? And yet you still are okay with sitting down with him at the dinner table. Maurice should just say, Calvin, pack up your stuff. Q, you go with him because you are not staying here. I mean, hell, I was on Calvin's side, before when Q was up in the apartment. It's like, wait, the man, you let the man that robbed me stay in this apartment. What the hell? But these okay, you know what? I feel like my brain, it's like I posted in the Facebook group. I feel like my brain cells die whenever I'm watching scenes with these people. I just feel like, I remember last night, I just kind of rolled my eyes and just sat back. I didn't even say anything. I just I let the scene play out, and I'm like, wow, so we're really doing this. We're really doing this. Okay. So, like Maurice said, so Calvin, oh, okay, so I see what's going on here. All right. Because remember in episode, what episode is this? Episode 17, some sort of woman, Calvin finds himself in an uncomfortable situation with Q after a night of drinking. So Q is gay for pay, but he's also gay if it leads to him having a place to stay. Enough said. Thanks so much for tuning in. Dumbass storyline. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. And I'll catch you all on the next one.